He is somebody who is not really banned all too often since, picked. He's not really picked all too often lately in the 4.2 patch, but man, he is going to see some play now. Zaupi looking to be the carry this time.
Yeah, and plus the threat of them going with a Yuumi composition to really further augment this 8 rocks. Because yeah, just looking into this particular draft by NAOS eSports, they are very much willing to play the late game. A late game 8 rocks is so hard to control unless if you are able to poke him out, which is basically the intention here by WRL. By drafting the Ziggs, they do have a poke champion that can really deal the hurt onto 8 rocks. So I dare say it, I'm not a fan of this 8 rocks pickup by NAOS, because if anything, yeah, their playstyle has always been so binary that I really want Zaupi on the engaged champions, the Wukong, Vi. If this will get flexed into the solo lane, then maybe it could be, you know, a very interesting pick for NAOS after all. But if it's going to be put onto the jungle for Zaupi, let's see. But I'm just not hopeful.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair to say. Now this though, we have been asking for. No, come on, Mirma, do it. Bring out the rep. But it looks like he's going to be going with Ezreal. But me and Geha have been just looking for an Ezreal pick for the past, I don't know, like 2 weeks. I think. Just please, somebody pick up the Twitch. It is so fun. I swear to God. But here you go. Do going to be on his KT.RY. They did not ban that one out. A little bit more scared of the Akali and the Jace potential here on NAOS eSports. So yeah, KT.RY, they will be a little bit challenged here with this draft of NAOS eSports, especially with the Galio that Rafe has picked up.
The chess match between the coaches continues, and now WRL decides to prioritize their #1 jungler, and that's the Kha'Zix. You know, prior to game #1, we did say that this series is heavily dependent as to how the junglers will perform, and Daw on Kha'Zix during game #1 really did out jungle Zaupi, but this time around, you know, his Kha'Zix will be put to test by the 8 rocks. One thing to note though, I kind of actually want the matchup. It's in favor of the Kha'Zix, because the Kha'Zix will just be able to attach himself onto the 8 rocks, and the burst will be there. So I'm still not, you know, convinced that if this 8 rocks pickup will go over to the jungle and will not be flexed, you know, WRL will have enough tools to really control this this pickup from NAOS.
Now, speaking of control, once again, Rattel will be picking up that Renekton to control whoever Calm will pick up in the top lane, because, you know, as a top laner, Renekton is just one of those safer picks that you can really have, and I don't know, it feels like. It just feels like Rattel does not want to lose top lane in any way, shape, or form, so he's not going to really take any risks when it comes there. Yuumi, though, wait a minute. Does that mean... Oh, he locked it in. Okay. This just got a lot more interesting.
So this is a final composition for sure, right? They're going to put the Galio and the Mirmo alongside with each other and flexing the Ezreal onto the mid lane. This Cyan pick... Zombie Man coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, this playoffs is a gift that keeps on giving. Jitan, you know, we have seen the Ari, we have seen the Gragas mid lane, and now we see the Yuumi plus the Cyan. Like, what a treat. How do we even read this matchup? It's just so hard to do.
I honestly don't know how to read this matchup. I'm kind of illiterate right now. I'm sorry. This is just... What is happening? Okay, so we at least Rakan for Nomel. Okay, Mitsura, though, it is a battle of the pseudo supports here in the middle. We got the Galio, we got versus the Gragas, and I feel like the Galio, because he has, you know, that magic damage shield, he will be a little bit better suited to that role. I just am very interested to see how this can shape up, because this is looking like, you know, the playoffs for sure. A lot of weird things are coming out, a lot of surprises, a lot more different than what we have been seeing throughout the past few weeks, or the past like 10 weeks of the regular season of the round robins.
I mean, all I can say is this is more becoming into a chess match between the support staff of NAOS and WRL, right? Like, who would be able to outdraft the other will come out on top. And this is, by the way, the upper bracket. So whoever wins this advances to the upper bracket finals. Meanwhile, the loser will go over to the lower bracket that will be fighting for their life this coming Sunday. Now we are going to see the funnel composition. They're going for a cheese, hoping to at least get one kill ahead of the opposition. But this is, I would say, this is very risky for the side of NAOS. But if it does work, right, this is an unkillable Aatrox territory that we could be looking at.
I mean, they took the risk, and they are they have a certain playstyle in mind. But KT.RY, they have a certain playstyle in their minds as well, trying to counter jungle. So now NAOS knows. Now NAOS definitely knows that their blue buff is being taken right now. Calm may die, but he is a Scion. If he dies, he can res and just be. Well, that's not the way you're supposed to
of course.
Go. Supposed to go towards the enemies and try to mess with them. Calm, but as a Scion, that's not a good thing to happen to you. Like just dying at the first few minutes of the game.
That's a misplay for sure, right? We have to call a spade a spade. Now eSports did specifically Calm. He wanted to traverse towards the top side, and knowing that Nomel was actually there should at least give you an idea that there is an invade ongoing. And although he's on the weak side, we do know that Scion is that one champion that does not mind dying. It still is a misplay in our vocab.
Yeah. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But this dive, though, no ifs, ands, or buts about this.
Oh, he's dead.
As Rattel is going to finally fall down. But that was still a trade. KT.RY getting, at least a 1-for-1 there. But their tower now in a lot of danger.
Yeah,
Plates are going down.
That's a better trade overall for KT.RY, though. Being able to at least get a trade kill, 1v4, will definitely do you so good. And at least Zalpi is recognizing that he still has to farm and farm and farm. The blue buff, by the way, did not get counter-invaded by NAOS eSports, which is kind of a surprise. They're trying to chase against Zera, and Zera is still very much healthy. But yeah, back to my point, that is a 3-buff start for Dom.
Yep, 3 buffs for the jungler that, is on his comfort pick. Yep. But this dive was, I want to say well executed, but, not super duper.
Not so much.
Well, because they juggled the aggro a little bit weirdly there.
Yeah. I mean, the adaptation by Rattel to go for barrier instead of going for the ignite was the biggest difference there, right? Like, oftentimes you see a Renekton trying to win his lane by himself, going for the ignite, going for the solo kills, but he recognized that he's going to be playing on the weak side. And again, with Rattel, this guy is just like, the best player to really look up to when it comes to the Baron lane, because his approach is not just through his mechanics, but also the mental aspect as well.
Zalpi now here, nobody knows he is there. No Mello is being seen, so this engage could be a little bit dicey. Rafe and Mirmelo. Zalpi, he may just be wasting time here if the no engage is gonna happen. Like, he could just go for one onto Nomel, but that's a little bit dicey. There is the final chapter coming out, absolutely getting nothing. That is going to be a wash from NAOS eSports. Zalpi just wasted his time.
So far, KT.RY has controlled this funnel all-in composition by Zalpi and NAOS. It hasn't resulted into anything positive as of yet. And you look at how KT.RY has controlled this, right? They're not going to be overextended, be over-aggressive. They know that the capabilities of this Aatrox can win them skirmishes after skirmishes, especially with the Yuumi in fold. This lineup by NAOS eSports is very scary come late game, though. That is one thing that I guarantee you, right? This Yuumi attachment will pretty much give the Aatrox, like, 2 items on top of his already, bot kit. And I'm kind of worried for Mitsuru as well. This Galio is not going to really do much damage. It's all Zalpi, and as I did say, this is a composition that if it works, it's genius. turns out, at least so far in the first few minutes, KT.RY is doing so good.
Yeah, and they are, you know, kind of giving the run around to NAOS eSports at the moment. Look at that gold lead already, 1.45 thousand. Doe as well, a lot of that gold is funneled onto him because he just kind of out-farmed and out macroed Zaupi a lot. This starts to become very dicey now for NAOS eSports. There's a little bit of an attempt there. Rafe and Zaupi just gonna try to roam around, try to start up the Rift Herald. The rest of KT.RY, though, they are a little bit near Mitsura, not in a place there where he can respond immediately, but he does have that hero's entrance available.
Yeah, and plus this Sion can just, you know, use his ult from the bot lane, heading straight towards this Rift Herald, so that could be a sight to behold as well. I think there's an ultimate happening right now.
Yeah, the World Ender, but that was just for intimidation. He's going to be going on to the Rift Herald. There's Calm coming in. There's also the unstoppable Sion. The final chapter, was that a little bit of a misclick? I don't know, but Rattel is going to be going on to Zaupi, and Aatrox has been taken out. There's Mitsuru a little bit late on that hero's entrance. Mirmo, though, keeping himself safe on that Ezreal, trying to stay over the wall, has to flash out. The rest of NAOS, though, they are not doing all too well, but Mirmo did get taken out by some dots there. So a little bit unfortunate, but that is KT.RY coming out with 3 kills in that exchange.
Yeah, this composition is definitely not working because KT.RY just knows what to do. They just have to kill the Aatrox, and basically all your funnel game plan is going down the drain. Plus the fact that he used the World Ender very preemptively just to try to secure this Rift Herald, it did not do well against the all-in composition of KT.RY. I mean, you look at how Nomel started that team fight. Rattel, by the way, finding that Rootless Predator downhill was actually the MVP of that particular play. That's an advantage that you can do. With the Dominus, you have an extended Rage on the Renekton, and that is the biggest difference maker in that game, or in that team fight.
Oh yeah, that was a big boy play there for KT.RY. This is now getting so tense for NAOS eSports. I mean, what can they really do to come back? They are just they're looking a little bit desperate, if I'm being honest, especially because Zaupi, he's got that Yoma's Ghosted, but he really hasn't been able to get into these fights and really do anything positive for the team yet.
Again, his tempo was greatly impacted with his botch dive in the bot lane because that death alone, it prevented him to really farm all those jungle minions that Daw was able to get for himself. We have to remember that he was able to start, you know, with 3 buffs because of the very good adaptation by KT.RY of going for an invade on the blue of NAOS eSports, minute number 1. And now KT.RY is just playing it academically. They don't have to force anything. They're just going to go for objectives. And NAOS eSports will not have any response at all.
Yeah, except for the True Shot Barrage and the Sion barreling down the Pain Train coming into the bot lane. But that's just to stop them from getting anything going in the against the tower, but not really stopping them from, you know, applying pressure at all. The Ice Drake is up though.
That has been that's the second dragon that will definitely be at the site of KT.RY. That's Ice Dragon. For the viewers out there, it does provide ability haste for you and your squad. And although NAOS does have some agency come late game, they do have Aatrox late game, they do have Ezreal late game. The only concern I do have is that will we even reach that point and where the late game will be relevant? Because knowing KT.RY, that would just, you know, press the advantage that they have. Make sure that, you know, NAOS eSports need to face check into dark territories in where KT.RY will be so ready to punish. That's basically their playbook, right? I mean, you look at how they do their vision game. Oh,
calm now. Maybe the subject of a dive here. Doe is off on the wings, but they don't have any minions. Calm is able to clear them out, and I want to say that Sion has infinite scaling, but realistically, in a game like this, in a game where KT.RY is just pushing the issue all the time, it's going to be very difficult for Calm to get any scaling done at all. There is going to be Zaupi coming in. He just stops in the middle. He doesn't get any knockups, and then he just dies. Calm, unfortunately, this is not the best Sion pick at the moment. He just runs back to his tower to die.
I mean, the main reason that you pick up the sign is him being able to out macro you, being able to destroy towers if ahead. But if this far behind, yeah, pretty much it's just a zombie waiting to happen over and over again. And now KT.RY can just do this, can just engage onto Zalpi and all the members of NAOS eSports. This is starting to become a blowout. This game number 3 is not even close.
Yeah, it's the unfortunate reality of it, but there's not all too much that that can be done here by NAOS eSports, man. At this point in the game, they have not scaled up enough. Zalpi has not been relevant enough to be able to really be the linchpin that his team needs him to be. And otherwise, it just becomes so difficult for NAOS eSports to even get any engages. They have to be very reactive now because being proactive with an Aatrox that is so behind in a Scion that gets ripped to shreds immediately, that's just a no bueno, man.
I mean, 0-3 and 0 with not even 2 items completed for yourself. I mean, NAOS knows that they are definitely behind right now. The only positive is Mitsura having that 1 kill. But outside of that, I cannot really think of anything as to how they will be able to control this onslaught coming from KT.RY. They need what we call the miracle team fight to happen. And NAOS eSports is actually very capable in doing so, right? Like, their players are not afraid to really go for the jugular if the options are presented. But if anything, KT.RY is just playing it like Mayweather. They're not going to really be over aggressive. They're going to be very tactical. And now eSports won't have the opportunity to get that miracle. Wait.
Oh, maybe though, because Mitsura
still no.
That was a little bit of a non-starter. A lot of damage, but it was onto the
Barrage.
Boom! Hits him, but he won't die. It's a sliver of health. No mill. Oh, that feels so bad on the Ezreal side.
Yeah. Kind of expected though. True Shot Barrage is not really the best damaging ult right now in the game.
Yeah.
But that's just 1 HP, right? Things are still favoring this KT.RY because had that pick happened, now eSports will at least be able to slow things down, build up their vision heading into this next dragon, which is, as you said, the Ice Dragon. The team fight that is going to happen is bound to be an explosive one. They will be heavily reliant, or now eSports will be heavily reliant on the pokes of Mirmo. Same can be said for KT.RY's Luna and company, but the advantage is still on KT.RY.
I mean, they have to carry that advantage too. Mirmo forced to flash like very soon because Zero was threatening that body slam into explosive cast combo to just keep him out of position. And if Mirmo goes down, that's basically a buy one take when you get Wraith within for you, because that Yuumi is not gonna do any favors if the Ezreal can't move at all. So Ice Drake gonna be the next target here.
The fact that the Wraith is attached to Mirmo is kind of sad because this is a matchup in where they want Zalpi to be the cat handler, the cat's best friend. But now eSports is wanting to challenge this.
Oh, they try, but they won't get it. Though is the one who secures it. The rest of NAOS eSports, so they're gonna fall like dominoes now. There's Mirmo gone, but at least it was a 1-for-1. But yeah, it's a buy one take when their Wraith goes down too. Zalpi very low, has to get out of there. The other members of NAOS eSports backing very. Well, they're not going to be backing, they're going to be engaging actually. Noma goes down, Rattel gets another kill, it's a 1-for-1. And Do has spotted new targets here. Will he go for them? He's going to avoid Calm right there because of the ward. Well, no, he didn't have it warded, he just kind of had instinct to see that Calm was charging up the axe there. Yeah, still a 3-for-2 positive for KT.RY.
True, and again, if you take down the Aatrox, there will be close to 0 damage on the side of NAOS eSports, especially with the Ezreal down in the death chamber. We're looking into that team fight. NAOS eSports just had one thing, and that is to challenge this dragon takedown. But as we all know, Kha'Zix is a very good securing jungler. You just combine your smite to your execute, and it will just so easy to do this. This buy one take one, by the way, by KT.RY against the Yuumi is kind of expected. The game is definitely not slowing down, right? Like, even if it reaches the late game, KT.RY would have enough separation to really just control the game from the get-go. But if you're NAOS, you just have to find that one miraculous team fight, and that could come here in this Baron. If they can rush this, things could be very interesting.
That is a big if, but that's the if
half
that
health.
they need. It is already half health, but they have to peel off of it. They've been found out. Nomil is the one who scouts them out. And if Do is healthy, if Do is around, they need to really be careful and consider him. So it's so difficult to go for that Baron right now. And there is the big boy. Oh my god, Calm is just going to go down here, but he is still alive with the shield up. The World Ender has been popped, but Zaupi just uses it to run away. A little bit confusing there, but that's how it is sometimes. That's all she wrote there for that engage. KT.RY will get away.
Yeah, he may not have died, but you know the damage has been done by KT.RY. They were able to burn a lot of the ults from NAOS. They were able to at least make sure that they will have the priority bot lane heading into this very fast takedown of the Baron. Remember, they have the Kha'Zix. This Kha'Zix is definitely the best pick imaginable when you're trying to secure an objective. It was so impactful during game number 1. Same can be said for game 3.
Yeah, and the impact cannot be understated here because Do is really one of the best junglers in the APAC region. And it's not even close sometimes. The way that, he reads this map is very, very
He's so good.
He's so good. And he is able to track Zaupi pretty much wherever he goes. So, yeah, you have to get him off of this Kha'Zix if you want to contest him with an Aatrox or something like that.
All right. At least Zaupi is approaching that 3 item territory, which at least could help this Aatrox survive a little bit. But engage.
That is going to be a hero's entrance coming in, but he goes golden. Zero will be getting out of there for free. Now Calm is on the back foot. He's going to get hunted down and immediately Dominus. It is going to be the kill though for Luna, and Mirmo goes down as well. 2 kills for Luna. Maybe a third one here on Zaupi and Mitsura, but the third one was actually the not the Yuumi.
KT.RY is just decimating everyone from NAOS eSports right now. I mean, no one died on KT's side, and they are just looking at Cyan as if it's nothing. And we'll just engage and engage and engage. It's all on Zero, by the way. Just being able to engage and disengage as well, plus the help of that stasis. I cannot really commend KT.RY enough in this game as to how they were patient with this all-in potential coming from NAOS. They know that Zaupi has a World Ender, but can you really do anything right now? It's just so sad this Aatrox cannot even lift a finger right now, G10.
Yeah, Aatrox of those Feast or Famine champions along with Kha'Zix, but only one jungler can feast here apparently, and it's Do. Zaupi, even with the World Ender, he really wasn't able to impact that fight at all. They were just clumped up towards that, in that one small corridor in the jungle. And that gave Rattel so much leeway as a Renekton to just be in there like swimwear and pop his Dominus, pop his Q as well, and just be so much more impactful. It was basically him in the middle of everybody for like 3 seconds before the rest of KT.RY piled in.
Yeah. Now eSports is going to contest this Elder Dragon for sure, right? Like, the only positive that happened here for NAOS eSports is that this is the Elder Dragon right away, that the 3rd dragon did despawn. And so at least this will be a healthier one that they can find the quote-unquote miracle that they want to find. That's the only thing that can come back, or that can help them come back into this game. Because if you look into the top side, Mitsura is even being forced to face Rattel, and that's not a matchup that you would win. A Renekton against the Galio, yeah, you have the wave clear as a Galio, but there is an all-in coming from Rattel. Now this Elder Dragon is being started patiently by KT.RY.
Yeah, and they really do need to be very, very aware of where NAOS is, where the members of NAOS are going to be coming from, because that Elder Drake, it takes a long time to take down, right? So NAOS has a lot of time to respond, to try to set up for the steal, but it's so difficult for them to, set up for anything at the moment.
No vision?
No vision at all. There's a true shot barrage, and
the flash
from Calm. There's a hero's entrance as well. The World
Stolen!
Ender, and it's actually. Big steal of Elder Drake. Can NAOS make this the comeback that they need, or will they just get decimated here? It looks like the second option because 3 of them are already dead. Just Mr. Red Cobb left, and Mitsura. Whoa, that Galio does a lot of damage. He took out Nomel at the very least before dying, but now it's just Cobb left. Even though they took the Elder Drake, it still wasn't the best outcome for all of them.
Yeah, 1v3. I'm kind of curious if KT.RY would go for the end. Cyan does have the ability to wave clear, plus going on zombie mode would allow him to deal damage. Remember, he still has the Elder Dragon buff available to him. They're trying. Oh, man.
Trying, and they are. Ooh, wow, one auto attack from that Ziggs. That is
10 seconds.
Does not feel good. But yeah, he's just going to be in the middle of them. Zombie mode will not save the Nexus, as that is the second game secured here for KT.RY.
It's a very good steal by NAOS eSports, but in the end, it wasn't